If you were to start learning how to code today, where and how would you begin? I started learning how to code 2 years ago, but it wasn't until about 3 months ago that I started to feel really confident in my skills. With how quickly technology is changing and adapting, there's a lot that has changed since then, but there's also a lot that has stayed the same. Today, there are people who are learning to code in as little as 3 or 4 months and are quickly landing a job afterwards. You can do this too if you learn how to code the right way. In this video, I'm going to outline exactly what I would do if I could go back in time and learn how to code all over again. The first topic in this video that I'm going to break into subtopics is your mindset. Being a successful coder is almost entirely about the mindset that you have. Since I started coding 2 years ago, my mindset has completely changed since then. From the way that I approach everyday problems and their solutions, to the way that I can see the algorithms working in some of the most common objects that we use. Topic 1.1. Learn how to problem solve. Coding is about telling the computer how to solve a problem so that we don't have to. We do this by creating algorithms, which are just the steps to solving a problem. We then implement this into our code. But in order to tell the computer how to solve a certain problem, we first need to be able to solve that problem ourselves. This is when you might find that learning the syntax is the easy part of coding. You need to be able to dissect any problem and tell the computer the exact steps it needs to take to solve that problem. So if you can develop strong problem-solving skills right from the start and find techniques that work for you, you'll give yourself a strong foundation going forward. Topic 1.2. Develop resilience and stay consistent. Coding requires a lot of trial and error. You have to be willing to keep trying at something, even if it takes you a long time to figure out. Just remember that there's always a solution to whatever problem you're trying to solve. You just need to give yourself the time to figure it out. Finding ways to power through the days when you're feeling tired, exhausted, and discouraged is what's going to be critical in staying consistent and keeping yourself on track. You can't learn how to code if you quit when it gets hard. Topic 1.3. Practice patience and learn how to stay calm. As someone who's learning to code, you have to know that there are going to be bumps in the road. Out of the hundreds of programs that I've written, I don't think there was a single one where I didn't encounter some type of issues in my code. It's nearly impossible to be able to expect yourself to write perfect code on your first try. If I could go back in time, one of the things that I would do differently is I would change the way that I approached problems in my code. I would get super frustrated and stressed out when I would see bugs in my code, and I would sit there and work on a project until I found and fixed every single bug I was seeing. This cost me a lot of time and energy, and since then I've found that it's in stepping away from my code and doing something to clear my mind, like going outside or working out, is when I come up with the solutions to my code and find out where the issues are. Topic number 2. Stop learning and start practicing. The best way to learn how to code is to learn by doing. I see way too many people talk about how many videos they're watching, books they're reading, or courses they're taking, but they aren't seeing any return from it. That's because the best way to learn how to code isn't by watching somebody else code, but to get behind your keyboard and start practicing. If I had tried to learn how to code just by studying and memorizing syntax, I don't think I would have gotten anywhere over the past 2 years. So whether you feel ready to or not, go online, search up some problems that you can do, and start coding your solution to those problems. Remember that you don't need to learn everything all at once. It'd be nearly impossible to try and memorize every single HTML tag or every class and method in Java before you even started coding yourself. Instead, focus on learning the basics that you need to get started on a program. Things like variables, data types, and functions, as well as the different control and decision structures. From there, if you get stuck on something or need to learn some new syntax, you can use Google or refer back to the documentation as needed. In topic 2.2, another mistake that I see a lot of beginner coders making lately is they're jumping immediately into ChatGPT to give them a solution to their coding problem. Then they'll base their solution directly off of that and then be surprised when their coding skills haven't progressed at all months or even years later. Topic 3 is to learn how to use an IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, and it's where you'll be writing all of your code. There are so many IDEs out there like VS Code, IntelliJ, and Eclipse, just to name a few, and they can range from more basic to more professional. When I first started learning how to code, the courses I was taking had me using super basic and outdated development development environments. They basically just look like a single white Word document and hardly had any functionality or features whatsoever. Although it may have seemed like this was making it easier for people to transition into coding who had no experience previously, it really just made it more challenging when I was expected to know a more advanced development environment. Additionally, learning how to use a more advanced development environment right from the start is going to make you a faster and more efficient coder because it has features like auto-completion, debuggers, and other shortcuts to help you complete your code. If you don't know what a debugger is, it allows you to step into and over your code so that you can easily find the bugs in your program. So that was the last topic for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope that you enjoyed. I also really hope that this video helps you be successful on your coding journey. Bye bye!